Welcome to Heaping Spoonful, a twice-monthly conversation with restaurateurs, chefs, growers, and others who have helped generate the legends associated with eateries across the Mid-South. The team at Benny Keith is proud to sponsor this adventure with the goal of preserving the stories that have helped cultivate an amazing food scene across the Mid-South. So kick back and enjoy a Heaping Spoonful.
All right, everybody, it is the first or the third Tuesday of... Man, listen, I start the show like the same way, and I think I need like a new tagline. So it's like I always do, like, this is the first and third Tuesday, so that must mean that it's podcast day. I don't know, I'm getting kind of bored with that. So I think we're going to go like, it's Tuesday. It's podcast day. This is Heaping Spoonful. I'm Brian McFadden. I am chef owner of Brewed and Barley down in Dogtown. It's a special place. I've been doing this my entire life, dude. I don't know anything else. And I think you have been doing the same.
Yes.
Pretty much the same.
Whole life.
Chris and I. So this is Chris Alley of Rock and Roll Sushi. Chris, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll get into our story, but we have like a unique story about how we met.
Oh, we're definitely connected in a big way and for life.
Yes.
So, yeah.
As long as those things don't fall apart. I don't have any more. They're the only two that we have.
Listen, no, they won't. We're taking good care of them.
So we'll get into that story in a bit. But Rock and Roll Sushi, man, I know there's a lot behind it. But before we get into that, I want to talk about you.
Okay. Right? Yeah, great.
So first of all, where are you from?
I'm from West Little Rock. Shackleford Road, buddy.
All right, born and raised.
Born and raised, man. I grew up in West Little Rock, which was West Little Rock then. Now it's not so much West anymore. But yeah, I grew up in Little Rock. My parents are from the Middle East, and they immigrated here in the 60s.
Okay.
Somehow found their way to Little Rock, and then my dad ended up owning a gas station for 47 years here locally.
I get that, man.
Yeah.
When I talk about my dad had the same job for like 40 years.
That's crazy.
And you don't really come by that anymore.
No.
Yeah, well, especially like owning your own place too for 47 years, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But like our parents, I think I'm a little bit older than you, but I mean.
It's about a couple of years.
I mean, jobs like that, when I see something on a resume, like, dude, I just saw a resume, somebody had a job for 17 years, and I was like, yeah,
hire that guy.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
I was like, you right.
You don't see that at all.
Don't see
Usually see this job 7 months, this job 6 months, this job a year and a half, this job a year, this job 6 months.
Yeah. And I've said it plenty of times, dude. If I see somebody on a resume or something like that that's been a place for like 2 years or more, and like maybe like the last couple of them have been like 2 years or more, I'm like, okay, we're bringing this guy back in for a second interview.
100%. It's also kind of how I judge myself at how long I'm able to retain staff as a leader.
Yeah.
If we always like look at myself in the mirror, if we start to have a lot of turnover at one of my restaurants, I'm like, okay, we're doing something wrong.
What am I doing wrong?
Right.
That's one of the things that's really funny, dude, because this is, Brewed and Barley is the first restaurant I've ever owned. And, I've been in management like forever, probably too long, man.
Right.
Been doing it forever. But, as far as an owner goes, that's just some of the stuff that you have to look at. Mm-hmm. And, Brewed will be, it's 5 years this year. And we made it through some terrible times. But when you look at that stuff, at first, it was hard for me to look at that because, I work in a kitchen. I don't know. I don't call myself a chef much, but
right.
There's a little bit of an ego. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Right.
They just don't want to work here.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, crap. Yeah, I'm really suck at this.
Yeah, that was my first year of ownership in rock and roll was the ego check. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it was just me getting humbled after getting humbled for me to like, okay. Let me not operate like this anymore.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. So, it's just a growth and learning. And
yeah, for sure.
And we'll get into all that, I'm sure, and our journeys. But yeah, there's a lot, especially in the beginning, man. I think it's why a lot of businesses fail is because in the first couple of years, man, you're working so much. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you're getting your teeth kicked in every time you turn around,
Every time.
Every time. And so somebody doesn't show up, or like I heard you and Brett Bassett talking about air conditioning is going out, and people don't think about stuff like that, but like that is more often than not. Like I wake up to calls like, oh, we had a big leak. Oh, the air conditioner's not working. Oh, the fryers just won't turn on anymore. Just won't.
Yeah, it's just not happening.
They don't want to work today. And so you're constantly having to deal with that and then try to put out a great product with great service.
Yeah.
So it's there's a lot of layers to it that on the customer side of things, when you show up and the host seats you and you get your food, you don't really realize what it took to get that food to that plate on your table. Everything that we've all been through.
I literally just picked that product up at Benny Keith Will Call 10 minutes ago. I threw it in there.
It's on your plate.
Right now.
I mean, and then some days everything is perfect and goes well and you don't have any issues and everybody's in a great mood, right? Like, you'll have those stretches too. It's not all doom and gloom, but
what it is, and listen, I am not, there's going to be somebody out there that's going to be like, I can't believe he just said that. But it's like an abusive relationship. It's like that one day is so good that it makes all the other days kind of
Stockholm
like,
syndrome.
I can deal with that.
Yeah, dude. It's like being bad at golf and hitting a really good shot.
Maybe that's a restaurant that we open up together. It's called Stockholm Syndrome.
It's only for restaurant people.
and they're all just abused. Like,
you just come in, talk about what happened. We'll serve you drinks. There's no food.
That's it.
Actually, it's great. We're on to something here, I think.
But talk about your dad, 47 years, and he had a good business model. You were telling me it was just you.
Genius, right? Labor was in check all the time. So it wasn't. So he was obviously, I'm 40, so he was obviously doing it way before I was born. But it was truly a family business. I mean, my mom, my brother, my sister, but as it grew and then we got older, it boiled down to like me and dad. It just kind of mom, did her thing. And then my brother went off to college and my sister was my sister and kind of just baby girl.
Yeah.
So at some point it just became me and my dad for like, 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
so a long time.
I picture like your mom, like my wife. So I have 2 boys and sometimes we do boy stuff. And my wife's like, you know what? You guys just go. You do that. You guys,
I mean,
do guy things and go do that together. I'm gonna go over here.
I hated it.
Yeah,
I have a much different perspective now that I'm 40 and own businesses than I did as a kid having to work with my dad every day. It's very much like an abusive relationship. Like I love the customers, and I got so much out of that, but. Also part of you is like, did you get robbed a little bit and having to work? But we were in survival mode as a family. We're just but as a kid, you don't understand that, But anyways, so it was just a lot of grinding. But man, I learned so many life lessons in that store.
Absolutely.
I mean, and then my dad's 72 now, still with us. And he retired in 2019, which I'm very thankful for that he was able to do that and then still is able to enjoy his grandkids.
Yeah, and have a legacy.
100%.
Yeah.
And so it did teach me that the gas station business is not something I wanted to be in as an adult. It's a grind for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And it also taught me, I don't want to run business. I don't want to run my businesses that way.
Yeah.
Right. I want to have layers. I want to have.
There's an easier way to do it.
There is. And, and part of my dad was he was scared of growth. He had one store for 47 years and had opportunities to have multiple. And so, he didn't take a lot of chances. And, but again, 3 kids, survival mode, just immigrated from another country, doesn't know English, he had a lot going on. So his story's super cool. I mean, my dad, when I sit back and look at all he accomplished, it's phenomenal. So for us to be able to still be in the same city, still be able to be in, businesses in the city that my dad kind of laid the foundation for us. Yeah. It's super cool. And so we don't take that for granted at all.
What was the name of the place?
Joe's Grocery.
Joe's Grocery.
Joe's Grocery and Deli, if you want the full name. So it was a gas station deli. I'm sure most people from Little Rock have been there or seen it. It's over off Colonel Glenn. Yeah. It's still, the building is still there. It's still operating as some kind of store.
Something else.
Yeah, but everything else has grown up around it. It is a time capsule for sure.
Man, there's so many places like back home like that. We have this like little deli called well, dude, I don't even know this place has a name. We used to just call it the Greek. And we used to go. His name was Chris too, and it was like, hey, we're gonna go see the Greek.
That's awesome.
Like, he probably didn't even know that we called him that, but it was like, hey, we're gonna go see the Greek for breakfast, and like I don't even know if the place had a.
He was there every day, rain or shine. Huh?
Oh, dude, yeah, cooking. You walk in the door, just like you were telling me, like. You walk in the door, and they had a waitress, but he would come up, and he'd be like, what do you want to eat? And I'd be like, man, give me a sausage, egg, and cheese.
That's it.
And then the waitress would go over and be like, what did he order? I have to charge him. Like, can you tell me what you got this man? You know what I mean? Like,
So people would yell at me, and I would make sandwiches, cold cuts. We had footlongs, paninis, but we would wrap everything in clear plastic so my dad could just look.
Oh, there you
And
go.
he could tell by like when he put it in the bag if I put extra meat on it. By the weight of it, and so he would, so he would just charge them if it felt too heavy.
That's so great. It's like the human lie detector was at De Niro and like Meet the Fockers.
That's it, dude.
Human lie detector.
He's like, you put extra meat on that sandwich? Like, yeah. He's like, I charged him for it.
I got him. Yeah.
Don't worry,
Makes sense, bro.
Don't worry, buddy. But yeah, so Dad was very old school, man, and you learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. I mean, I remember. At like 15, this is back when checks were big. And we would take checks and we would get a hot check every now and then. And my dad would send me to their house to go collect on a hot check for like $15. So I'd be down like Lawson Road, just knocking on somebody's door like, hey, you wrote us this check last week and then came back. And every time I got the money.
That's so badass.
Yeah, I didn't know it. I didn't know like how insane it was at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, when I think about it, how old were you then?
Like 15?
Really, 15.
I shouldn't have even been driving.
Walking into like a bad neighborhood.
Oh, like a trailer park.
Yeah. I mean, like, hey, bro. Like,
Hey.
you just check. You know, if my dad doesn't get paid, I don't get my allowance.
Yeah.
Man. I can't go see.
The other thing,
this week.
Dad didn't pay. I didn't get paid. There was no pays.
Well, your dad probably was like, oh, no, you got paid.
Oh, you got a roof. But like, I worked there at 9, and I got my first like true paycheck from him because I was living on my own at this point. I was at 22.
There you go.
He paid me $300 for 80 hours a week. So I was working 80 hours, $300 cash.
You're probably excited about that $300 though, right?
I mean, yeah, until I started getting bills, and I was like, oh, my rent's like $900. So this is like 3 weeks worth of rent. And then I think by the time I quit at 29 or left, I was making $550 a week cash. Big time, buddy.
There you go.
I was just crushing it then, I thought. Yeah. So so it was interesting, and I'm super thankful for it now.
Yeah.
I would never put my kid through that.
Yeah. Well, people ask me about that all the time. They're like, "Hey, Bray, are the boys, they're gonna work in the restaurant?" And I'm like, "Listen, Evan's already chomping at the bit. Like he wants to come. I told him I pay him $5 an hour to come and bust tables over the summer, and he's about it.
I'm gonna tell my kid he'll pay you at 22.
Yeah. Oliver's smarter than that.
Yeah.
Oliver's like $5 an hour, Dad.
Not doing it.
Minimum wage is 11.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're 10 years old.
How do you know that already?
10, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, that's child labor. I was like, we own the business, man. We own the business.
Yeah. That doesn't apply.
It doesn't work.
apply to you.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
No, Oliver's smarter. He's like, nah, I'm good.
That's hilarious. Yeah, my brother, who is also my business partner in these rock and rolls, he has a 12-year-old son, and he worked for us last summer in the dish pit. Like 3 weeks for the summer. But he worked, so we're going to slowly build him up. I don't anticipate him going into the restaurant business, but I do think it's important that kids work.
Dude, I think that yes, I do believe that. I do believe I think it's important that kids work.
Yeah.
And see, for so many different reasons, man. But work in hospitality too.
Right. That's the biggest. They deal with the public.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Working and dealing with the public are two separate things.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I learned a lot of life skills because I would see like 1,000 people a day in a gas station and have conversations with almost every single one of them. Because it was like, they've been coming there for 20 years,
Yeah.
So,
the kids and how's mom?
Yeah, how'd the hip surgery go? Let me have a pack of Doral.
That's awesome.
That's what I did. So, so it was an interesting childhood, but like, I mean, I think a big part of like why we were able to like put some roots down with restaurants is people know us and we built a name for ourselves. And my dad has a great reputation in the community. And, I think that there's a lot to be said for that. And I have my dad to thank for a lot of our success for sure.
Man. Shout out to Pop.
Shout out to Joe.
Man, I have so much respect. And I know there's a lot of people out there that do, man. I have so much respect for people that, I mean, you come from another country, you can't even speak the language.
No.
Dude, you open up your own business.
Right.
You take care of your family with that business. You worked at 47 years.
Every day.
Man.
Every day.
47 years. You know what people are doing now, man? People are like, I'm going to see if I can work for 15 years and then not work the rest of my life.
I know.
And they're like, bro, you're going to do something special, man.
I mean, and it's weird, like when I go to my staff and, at this point, the staffs are like, oh, he's like I'm an owner. And so we have staff meetings. And I'm like, look, guys, I'm 40. I've got 30 years of experience in the service industry in this market. Like, I'm familiar with what's going on, and so you never lose that, you never lose that. Even as I've grown and rock and roll's given me these amazing opportunities to have ownership and grow, man, there's still that dog in you when you go in. And I walked into one of my restaurants the other day and the kitchen was a little dirtier than, our stand. It wasn't dirty, but there was just details, Yeah. And man, I got so mad. And I was like, all right, gotta calm down because you can't, what am I trying to say? You can't muscle it all the time, right? There's got to be a little finesse to the leadership. So I'm constantly trying to figure that piece out. And I know I'm kind of moving off of where we were, but yeah, so there's just growth. I mean, there's been so much growth in like my career path over the last 4 years. And like, I mean, I've done everything in the restaurant from, washing to bussing to serving to whatever's required, rolling sushi. But now that we've kind of got to 5 stores and all that role's changed. And so I still try to feel connected to that, to the kitchen. I know you're still in your kitchens, plating and Friday night. With 5 stores, that's difficult for me to accomplish.
Absolutely.
Like that. So I had to change the way I worked.
So, man, it's so funny, dude. So I have this, shout out to John Brandenburger.
Oh, yeah. Great guy.
It's so funny. He said this to me years ago, man. And, with everything opening up and, this and that, and these guys are so much smarter than me. It's like him and like Rich Cosgrove, Whole Hog, like all these guys, and I'm sitting around this table and like, we're talking and I'm like, man, I'm just trying to find balance between my family and my one location and this and that. And he's like, man, you gotta stop with that balance bullshit, dude. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm trying to balance. And he's like, think about balance, dude. So I was like, you have a cup of coffee in one hand. So how do you balance it off? So you put a little bit in this hand and then it takes away from the other hand. So stop with that balance bullshit, dude. You gotta learn how to harmonize your life, bro.
Yeah.
Harmonize it, man. You got to figure it out. And you eventually want to open up more locations and stuff like that. And you're going to have to be at all those locations. And you're not going to be able to be at all those locations every day. So you got to work a harmony, man, just like a chorus. You got a guy doing bass. You got a guy doing soprano.
Yeah.
Like, you got to harmonize with that shit. And it's not easy, man.
Not at all. But I will say technology has helped a lot in being able to handle multiple stores. But yeah, dude, I mean, so getting back to my origin story, well, a little bit, I want to tell the story about when we first met real quick.
Yeah.
So me and my wife, we broke up at your restaurant originally.
Wait, you didn't tell me that.
Listen, well, this is the full story. So listen, well,
I don't even know this full
so listen, let me tell you the full story. So I was me and my wife started dating in December of 2019. Okay. We signed our deal in December of 2019 for Rock and Roll Sushi as well and started construction in January of 2020. So COVID. So I'm dating my wife and then we open May of 2020. So I'm learning this whole new brand, trying to date my wife, COVID. So I got all this going on, right? And then we open our second location 3 months later in Main Street, Soma. So I had 2 locations within 3 months of each other. COVID, still trying to date my wife. So she broke up with me 3 or 4 times in that.
I had enough of this shit.
Right. And so the last time she broke up with me, I was like, whatever. I'm telling her, like, this is going to change our lives. Like, just trust me. But she doesn't know me. I'm like, I'm done. Right. So she called me and she's like, I don't want it to end this way. Let's just meet and have a drink and just kind of say goodbye. So we met at your place. So, because she lived in Argenta. So we go to Brewed and Barley and we sit in your booth and we're there 3 hours. And we're sitting in that booth just talking. I know that server was so mad at us because we weren't ordering anything, dude. God, they won't leave. But we're just talking, right? And so we're just whatever. So then we leave, and I know the server was super happy we left, but we left, and then we sat on those benches that you had out front, and we sat there for another hour and a half, and we just talked, and we ended up deciding that we were going to take a leap and continue to date, right? She was going to trust me, and then I was going to trust her not to break up with me anymore over my career. And so we sat there, and then a year later we were married, and I have my 4-year anniversary in June, and we have our second son coming in August.
That's so awesome.
So
That's so awesome.
that next year, I wanted to get my wife the benches.
Yeah.
Because I had asked her to marry me in front of your benches, because that's where we had the conversation. So I asked her to marry me in front of your benches, in front of your restaurant, and then we had Capeos for our dinner or whatever. So Argenta's super special to us. So I was thinking for our 1st year anniversary, I'm like, I need to get those benches. I need these benches. So I stopped in your restaurant, I don't know, every few weeks, and I would ask for the owner, and they would never let me talk to you. And I would tell them what I wanted to do. And I think by like the 6th or 7th time you came out or you called me and you're like, okay, so my staff's been telling me for like the last 2 months, you're trying to buy these benches for what? And I'm like, because I got engaged on them. And you're like, all right, dude. Can you come get them next week? And I was like, thank you so much.
I have to say this, though, in my defense. All right, so.
I'm sure that.
It's so funny, man, because I can't tell you, and you've probably been here before. Like, you've probably been in my situation before where you're at work and you're trying to get stuff done. Mm-hmm. And, like, right now, there's somebody walks in the door every day. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I want to talk to the owner. I want to talk to the manager.
All the time.
I want to talk to the chef. And so I got my hostess at the time to the point where I was like, no.
She's the last line of defense.
I'm not here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If it's that important, tell them to email me.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. That's probably... Sorry, guys. I know if you listen to this, you're going to be offended. That's probably the only host/hostess that ever did that. Because right now, I still get I'm trying to get stuff done, and I'm looking at the clock.
Well,
I got to pick the kids.
She was strong, buddy.
Yeah.
It took 7 or 8 attempts, but I think by the last attempt, your whole staff knew what I was trying to do. And all the girls on your staff were like, oh, my God, you've got to sell him these benches.
Actually, there was a young lady that worked for us. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was Naya. And Naya came in, and she was like, would you sell that man those benches, please? And I was like, wait, what? And she was like, the benches. The guy keeps asking for the benches. Yeah. Just sell the guy the benches. But she was like, Chef, I'll buy you new benches.
I told you. I said, I will buy you any bench you want. And you were like, listen, dude, just feed my staff one time and come get the benches. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you're too kind. So now one of the benches is in my living room up against the window. My kid plays on it all the time. And the other bench, because I didn't know which one I got engaged on, so you let me get both of them. The other bench is on my deck, and so we use them all the time, and they're a fixture of our family, and I will have them forever.
That's so awesome.
So thank you. I mean, super special that you would do that. Super weird that I kept asking, but
no, not at all. I probably didn't even hear it. Like, if you asked 7 times, I probably didn't even hear about it until the 5th.
Oh, I knew it wasn't getting to you. Yeah. That's why I kept asking. Eventually, this staff knew who I was, and they were like, oh, it's the bench guy.
The other part of that story, which I think you might know this. So my cousin, listen, man, I'm like all things kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love what Brewed and Barley looks like.
Yeah.
But I can't take any credit for it. That was
a beautiful spot.
My cousin designed all that, and now when you go in there, all the pictures and stuff like that, and I love them. It's awesome, but I didn't do any of that, man. That's my cousin. So I did call him, and I was like, hey, listen, there's a guy that wants to buy these benches. Are you cool if I sell this guy these benches?
I remember you said I got to check with my partner.
Yeah, I was like, let me check with my cousin. Like, because last thing I need him being like, man, I love the color of those benches. I can't find
Those
the color
benches.
of those benches anymore. You know?
Like one of a kind benches.
Yeah. But
Thank you.
That's how that went.
Dude, so you are constantly thought of in our home.
Awesome.
So it's
I say like a little picture of me.
yeah. A little plaque on it.
What the hell is that? Get out of here.
That's what I'm gonna give her for anniversary is a picture of you on the bench. That's great. So yes, so you are an important part of our story. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
I mean, if it wasn't for Brood and Barley, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
My God, man.
Yeah.
And you know what's really cool too is we have this couple that comes in too that they had they were like I don't know, it was Tinder or I don't know what it was, but they're like online dating and stuff like that. And they had their first date at Brood and they got engaged at Brood and they just took pictures there the other day.
Dude, they're gonna want a booth. You get on the watch. This bar chair here. Yeah, dude. He's not selling any more furniture, people. That's right. No more furniture, people. He's not selling any more furniture. But yeah, no, that was awesome. So, and I mean, still probably the best anniversary gift I ever got her.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I don't know how I'm ever going to top that, but whatever.
Dude, I mean, that story too, like, I remember telling my wife that story and she was like, well, that's romantic. And I was like, thanks, Chris. Jesus.
Look, life's funny sometimes. Like, I'm not a very romantic guy, but sometimes life just makes you romantic, you know?
I think I'm romantic, but
I don't think, I mean, I thought I was when I was younger, but now I'm just like, we'll do a date night soon. we'll get
it on anniversary. It's the 28th. Oh, it's Saturday. I got to work.
Yeah. Sorry. You know,
I'll make it.
But I do try to be really present at home. Like you said, the balance is important.
Yeah.
I mean, I even though like it, but you do have to be present. I mean, wherever you're at, that's where I try to be present no matter what I'm doing. And so if I'm at work, I try to be really present there. And if I'm at home, I try to be really present at home.
Absolutely.
So, you know, and then it helps that I have a wife that schedules things very well. Mm-hmm. So it helps me kind of keep myself together too.
I have a giant calendar. Like I still do the old like paper calendar.
Yeah, I do too. The big one from Staples that you put on the desk. That's me too, dude.
Well, you know, I get the calendars from these guys, like from Ben Keith or, you know, from PFG or whatever. And I have like 5 of them and they'll hang up all the same place. And I'll take like one day and I'll go right on all the calendars.
You do all 5?
Dude, I do it. And then obviously the calendar on my phone, you know, that's the most
that's
important.
the big one,
The most important one. But at least when my wife is at home and I'm getting better with technology, so I actually was able to share my calendar.
Look
on
at
my
you, buddy.
I know. I was so proud of myself. And then she added something to the calendar and I got a notice. And I was like, oh, yeah, we're moving up now.
Listen, somebody airdropped something to me like 2 weeks ago, and I still don't know where it is. Whatever.
Yeah, where did the downloads go?
What? So, yeah, I'm with you, man. Technology is a struggle for
I'm
me.
amazed by it every day. But, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But it's also it's a necessary evil because, you know, it's everybody always knows where I am.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I mean, no doubt. I mean, when people rely on you now, you know, and you're responsible to others, you know, you can't just run off to the casino and do what you want.
It's midnight. I want to have a glass of whiskey.
Yeah.
And then I want to just like walk to my car nice and slow.
Yeah.
And then go home. I just leave me alone.
I know. And so like I'm right now my struggle is finding a space in my house for myself.
Yeah.
It's become the garage.
Yeah.
You know, like every other man, you know. So I've just found myself in the garage just like staring at the wall for like 10 minutes just gathering myself.
You know what's really funny? I got home the other day and I sat in my car and I was like listening to this audiobook and I just sat in my car for like 15 minutes. In the meantime, like my son Evan, he comes to the front door and he's just like looking at me and then he walks away and I go back in the house. He's like, Dad, what are you
Are
doing?
you okay?
Is everything all right? And I was like, yeah, man. I was just chilling out for a second.
Taking a little dad time.
Before the dogs start barking.
Yeah, dude.
And obviously you love coming home to your kids and everything like that. It's amazing.
Right.
But you talk about the garage, like third space is important, man.
100%, dude.
When you're at work, you're working. When you're at home, you're working.
Right.
You need that third space. And I'm not just talking about guys. Everybody needs
Yeah, I make one room for my wife to have her time as well. I mean, I think it's important because I want to give the best version of myself to my family, especially, but I want to give the best version of myself to my staff as well and my leadership team. And, so it's, you can get to the point where you get so burned out that everything burns. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm very mindful of like not getting to that point.
Yeah.
And I have great partners and great management team that allow me to have that space and that time.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful for that. And I'm thankful for my wife's patience that first couple of years.
So much.
Launching a brand's tough, man.
Oh, dude.
It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and there's so many things that go into it that you don't think about. And it's unfortunate, man. And it's not like, and it took a while for my wife to understand that. Like, I'm not like purposely like putting you on the back burner. I didn't even know there was a burner there.
Right.
Like, I'm like, we're doing this, and Jess is getting the insurance together, and I'm doing the menu, and there's
Right.
just a lot of stuff that goes
A lot.
into it. And then the next thing you know, it's 1:00 in the morning, and I realize I haven't talked to you in like 4 hours.
Yours is even harder of a path because you're creating everything.
Yeah.
With us and being in the franchise world, a lot of that's already done for us. And so it's really figuring out the operations but I don't have to figure out menu engineering and I don't have to figure out calorie counts and have you
seen me? I don't calorie count. What the hell is that?
You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that's required, but yeah, like, we didn't have to, recipes, like, you're doing it the hard way. I mean, we're coming in and paying somebody a percentage to have all that done for us.
Right.
Which we know our strength and we know that probably isn't our strength. Maybe one day that we'll do a concept that is ours.
Right.
We've kicked it around, me and my brother especially, but
For sure.
there's a lot of respect that goes to you and what you do and your menu and how you execute it, dude. It's phenomenal. I don't think you get enough credit for what you bring to Little Rock.
I appreciate that,
dude.
man.
Brewed barley, one of the top spots, dude.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
100%, man.
Listen, this is what I want to do. Let's take a quick break. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna listen to Rusty's beautiful voice.
Can't wait.
Talk about Benny Keith a little bit, who's amazing, by the way. And we're gonna talk about Rusty at the end here. But Rusty it's like my third father. He's awesome. But
He'll adopt me, maybe.
I want Rusty to adopt all of them. Yeah, we'll just be out at
Just Rusty's
we'll be
house
at the cabin.
every holiday.
Every holiday. Oh man, I would love that. It's a good time.
It's gotta be, bud. It has gotta be.
Ours and everything.
That's too funny.
All right, so we will be right back. But Chris, when we get back, you had mentioned talked about franchise. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to talk about franchise because I don't think there's a lot of people that understand what goes into it, and I will be the first one to say I don't have a freaking clue.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna pay some bills, and we'll be right back with Chris Alley, Rock and Roll Sushi.
I hope you're enjoying this episode of Heaping Spoonful. We at Benny Keith Foods enjoy talking about the food scene almost as much as we enjoy providing the top quality ingredients that help restaurateurs and chefs across the Mid-South create their magic. Now let's dive even deeper into the culinary world with your host, Chef Brian McFadden.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Heaping Spoonful. Today we have Chris Alley of Rock and Roll Sushi with us. And, if you listen to the first part, Chris and I have a little bit of a history, but Chris is also doing something that not a lot of us know about. I know that there's a lot of people listening to this podcast right now that are just like me, that have no idea what goes into a franchise. And when people think about franchise, man, they think about, listen, dude, don't hate me for this.
No, I already know what you're gonna say.
On you or anything.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
People think about franchise. People think about McDonald's. And they think about Wendy's. They think about Sonic. That kind of stuff.
Right.
And I know that that's probably a stigma that you're like, well, yeah, man. I mean, maybe there's something to that, but
I would love to be a McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to be a Sonic.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the goal.
But nobody knows what goes into it.
Right.
Like you were talking about, like before we went on break, you're talking about like me and my menu and like curating that stuff. But you have people that do that for you, or
Right.
maybe not. I don't know, maybe not menu stuff, but I mean, as far as like you were talking about like calories and recipes and all that kind of stuff. What, like, how does that happen?
Yeah. So franchising world it's different. So the nice part about it is they engineer the menu recipes. But what I want to really emphasize is every franchise starts as a small business.
Yeah.
There's not a franchise that starts as McDonald's didn't start as a franchise.
Yeah.
It started with two brothers making burgers in California.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so every franchise starts as a mom and pop. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think people really realize that because you don't really see them in your area until they've expanded, right? They typically have started somewhere. Rock and Roll started in Mobile, Alabama at the Bel Air Mall.
2010?
2010. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So husband and wife couple, our age, Jerry and Lance, they're in their 40s. He worked at Hard Rock, and she did too. He got fired. She's Asian, and he's a white guy. She had the recipes, and he knew how to run business. So they got together and started Rock and Roll Sushi. 10 years later, they have sold 70% of it to private equity and have cashed out for 20 plus million.
There you go.
So, part of it is, yeah, I love the service industry. But part of it is you can make a really good living because it affords you an ability to open multiple locations because it is a concept that is, like with you're having to figure out lighting and booths. And there's a book. I go through a book and I can get this booth or this booth.
Right.
And that's it, So they really cut down on a lot of that decision making. And so for us, we want to operate and open. We opened 5 in 4 years, that we own. And now we're starting to franchise out the rest of the state. So we bought the rights to the brand for Arkansas. Yeah. So what happened was we signed a deal for 20 over the next 10 years in the state. So that's how you typically will see brands grow quickly.
Right.
It's because they've signed a deal for a certain amount of time for a certain amount of locations in a certain area. Gotcha. So we negotiated the rights to Arkansas in 2019. And we thought, looking at it, we could do about 20 in the state. So it was a race for us to 4 stores. We wanted to get to 4 stores because we knew with the math and the money, if we were doing what we were supposed to do, 4 stores would be able to support the partners and to be able to really launch the brand. Right. So we ended up getting to 5 stores and then we sold Fayetteville in the Northwest Arkansas territory to a group up there. And they're looking to expand into Fort Smith. And so they're going to do 3 or 4 themselves. And we support them as the area developers and franchisees. So I'll go up there and audit them. But in the franchise world, they give you they tell you what product to use. The nice thing about it is like when you see like a recall on lettuce or something, well, we have all the chains of where our stuff came from, so
right.
So they have all these approved vendors, and so you have some protection there when it comes to like what products you're serving, all that stuff, and then they charge a percentage of your sales, but you get all the branding, you get the signage, you get the recipes, you get all of the assets that come along with the brand. The fun thing about Rock and Roll, when we got into it, there was 35 stores across the U.S. There's like 80 now, 75, 80. So as a franchise kind of grows from a small franchise where it was mom and pop and then private equity kind of comes in, you get more and more corporate where you kind of start to get towards that McDonald's. The more times private equity comes in and but if you do it right, you can be part of that sale at some point. You can be part of that private equity sale. So, I mean, it's a long-term gain. It's a long-term game for us. It's a 10, 12-year kind of process to get the territory built. But at some point, the goal would be to sell the territory back to corporate and kind of reap the benefits at that point.
Okay.
So that's kind of the game when it comes to franchising, especially if you're trying to do a multi-unit franchise. It's hard. It's hard to make a good living off of like one unit.
Right.
Because you're giving 7% back to the company, and it's tough.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
But as you scale, and the numbers kind of, inflate, then it starts to make a lot more sense. And so that was what we kind of realized. So before rock and roll, we did Tropical Smoothie, and our other partner, Chris Cromelis, developed Tropical Smoothie in the state, and we started working for him. That's what got us into franchising.
And they're everywhere. They're all,
Yeah, they just sold for $2 billion.
Yeah. Crazy.
Like the fifth sale. So, so if you can get in early and build it, and I don't think we ever thought, I never thought rock and roll in Central Arkansas would get to what it is. I mean, it was a very fast growth, very big growth, and we're so thankful for, Arkansas being so. I mean, I've got 5 stores within 25 minutes of each other in the Central Arkansas, which is kind of crazy, for dining restaurants. So we're so thankful that the state supported it that way and is still supporting it. And so, there's twofold. You can get to a franchise that is well known, and it's expensive to get in, but it's a proven.
But it's proven.
It's proven, right? Yeah. You could pay it up front, like a Chick-fil-A, if you can get into that. You're going to do about $10 million in sales a year. Right? And it might cost you a couple million to get into it.
Right.
If you can find a brand that's young enough, you can get into it a lot cheaper because those younger brands need the cash flow. So they're looking to do deals.
Right.
And so it's kind of what happened with rock and roll. We would never be able to get the deal we have now with the current rock and roll.
Right.
Administration.
Got in at the right time, man.
Exactly. So timing's a big part of it. And then, the nice thing about it is you can, it's all federally regulated. So they got to tell me their food costs. They got to tell me, what these stores are doing.
Right.
They can't, so there's a lot, there's a lot of information and data we can collect before we make a decision on a brand.
Right.
Whereas if you go in and you're trying to build something, there's no precedent, there's no numbers, there's no data.
Right.
You don't know what's going to happen. So at least with this, in the franchise world, you can say 25% of our stores are doing over $2 million or 50%. You know what I'm saying? So you have this data, and then you can look at similar markets and kind of understand. Like Alabama is really similar to Arkansas.
Yeah.
In demographics. So if it's successful in Alabama and Mobile, and they're able to put 15, 20 in Alabama, Arkansas is pretty similar.
Well, there's also like, obviously, we're from Philadelphia, and we came down here, and there's definitely a demand for rock and roll sushi down here.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's not a whole lot going on as far as that goes,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I mean, you could probably put a rock and roll sushi right in the middle of Philadelphia and do freaking great. But there's also Chinatowns right there, and and there's all these Japanese places that are doing it right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's not a whole lot here that
No, and we're also pretty Americanized. As far as our sushi rolls go, it's a very different experience than you get in a traditional Japanese restaurant.
Sure.
So I think that spoke a lot to the southern U.S. I think that is our customer, the southern U.S. I think rock and roll does a great job of introducing sushi to a lot of people.
I agree.
For the first time,
100%.
because it's not as intimidating. The menu's easy to read. You got familiar music videos playing. It feels like you're at a concert. So
it's so funny that you say that because, all right, so we talked about the benches. We're not going to get into that, but what you did with like the exchange was that you gave us gift cards.
Yeah,
like you gave us gift cards, and what we just wanted to feed the staff with.
Right.
So, do you know how many people on my staff that were like, we never had sushi before?
Oh yeah.
To me, I was like,
yeah.
What are you talking about? You never had sushi before. To me, where I'm from, I'm like, that's like saying like you never had pizza.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? You didn't have sushi before.
You're in Arkansas, man. It's never really been like a big thing.
So you did, like, you did introduce it.
Yeah.
Dude, we put out this spread, okay, on our back patio.
Right.
It was like towards it was an outdoor dining weekend is what it was.
Yeah.
When nobody has time to like take a break and eat. And we just laid the spread out on the back patio like halfway through the day. And then I had to go and I explained to a lot of my employees, like, okay, this is
what's what, right?
This is what nori is. Like, this is what this is. And
That's
it was
so
actually
funny.
really cool. But when you
awesome.
say you introduced it to a lot, it's true.
It's true, man.
Yeah.
I get a ton of people that they come in, and first of all, a lot of people don't know we have hibachi too. Our hibachi is phenomenal. It's just we don't do it tableside. It's all done in the back of the house.
Right.
But the great thing about rock and roll is like their top rolls are deep fried. And we're in the South.
Yeah.
People love deep fried and they love sauce.
Yep.
And so we use some really, we have some really tasty sauces, and we deep fry rolls, and we'll throw crawfish on top, and then we just drown it in sauce. And people that, not while it not being traditional, still gives them a foot into sushi.
Yeah.
They're not doing the raw stuff off the bat.
Yeah.
And then they can tell their friends, I tried sushi.
Is that sushi?
I like it. It's just deep fried with crawfish. So then hopefully, they come back and they're like, oh, that looks good. Let me try a punk rock, or let me try something that's a little, because now you're not so scared of it,
So this is actually something that I ask everybody.
Okay.
So if I'm well, obviously now I've eaten rock and roll sushi. I can't even count. It's been a million times.
Yeah.
But if I were to say, all right, dude, like it's my first time stepping in, and not necessarily new to sushi. I mean, just like what are your favorites on the menu? Like if I were to walk in, you'd say, Bray, you got to try this.
Punk rock roll.
Punk rock roll. What's
It's
in that?
by far my favorite. So on the inside is spicy tuna, cream cheese, and then shrimp tempura.
Oh, yeah.
They roll it, and then they laid seared ahi tuna on the top of it. You get an ounce of seared ahi tuna on top.
Hell yeah.
And then we top the whole roll with a strawberry, cucumber, avocado, jalapeno, ponzu, sweet chili salsa.
Oh, shit.
So it's a little spicy, a little sweet. You get the freshness of the ahi tuna. The roll, the rice has that vinegar in it, so you get a little bit of a sour. It's got everything. It is so good.
It sounds delicious.
It is so good, dude. And it's my favorite roll on the menu, and it's the roll I recommend to everybody. Our most popular roll is a VIP roll. It's deep fried. It's super simple. It's cream cheese, shrimp tempura. They roll it, batter it in panko, batter it in tempura, I'm sorry, and then deep fry the whole roll for 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And then they cut it up, and then they top it with a crab shredded topping and crawfish tails, seasoned crawfish tails, and then we, sauce it up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's great. I mean,
I see your chef wheels turning. You're like, oh, this is wonderful. So I would have never been able to come up with these kind of recipes on my own, or my brother, or Cromless. I mean, there's no way, dude. So that is the beauty of it is, and we just, we're rolling out some things, and, it's cool that you don't have to figure that part out, and it helps you be able to focus on like the brand, and it kind of gives me you got to build your own identity. With this, the identity was there for us.
right.
We just have to execute.
What about like, and I'm just asking because I'm ignorant to it. I don't know. Like you see, like a lot of times you'll see advertising for certain franchises, and it'll say like available at specific locations, or that kind of stuff. Like, do you guys have the ability in house to like make specials where you're like,
Yeah, a little bit.
okay,
A little bit.
gotcha.
So with the younger brand, like we are with 70 like locations, I can do a Friday night chef special,
Gotcha.
and no one's really going to say a lot.
Gotcha.
McDonald's can't.
Yeah.
They can't just go do a random fish sandwich that they want to try.
You're like, no.
Right. And really,
John says this is awesome.
right.
Every day.
Because then you start putting the company in liability, because if I'm serving something that's not approved from corporate and they don't know where I'm getting the product from, or it gets somebody sick, then it's a bigger issue.
Yeah.
So you try not to venture off too much. They do have a system where you can submit recipes to corporate, and they will test them out, and then they'll typically roll them out in an LTO fashion, a limited time offering.
Okay. Yeah.
Test it, see how it does, and if it does well, they'll add it to the menu. So
That's pretty cool.
So that's a lot of how Tropical's menu has evolved. Was every year they would do a contest and have all the Tropicals send in recipes, whatever you wanted, and they would vote, and then like the top 3 would get on LTOs, and that's how the Island Green became the Detox Island Green. Those were all from the ground, and I think this. That's where a lot of the best ideas come from, is
for sure.
on the ground. It's not where, especially like me now, like sitting in my office, being like, you guys should, it's like, no. Let me talk to my management team who's there every day on the floor and see what makes sense, right? And so it is cool that they're able to do that. And with rock and roll being as small as it is, I can call the CEO up and be like, hey, I'm having this issue.
That's cool.
So that's cool, so we're still that small enough. There's, I think, 9 corporate staff members total. in the whole. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. So and it. So yeah. I mean, we're small enough that I can communicate issues, or I can say, hey, we're going to try this, or we're going to test this, and then the cool thing is, if it works, you're doing it and you're helping 175 other franchisees.
Right.
Especially if you're doing something good. So. A lot of collaboration in the franchise world with franchisees. A lot.
That's so cool.
It is. It's a cool
I
thing.
learned a lot too because a lot of that I didn't know. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about collab. You brought me a gift today.
I did, buddy.
Yeah.
I did. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, so I'll tell you this story real quick because so we take the elevator up to the top floor, which is the second floor.
It's a wild ride.
That's why it's crazy ride. It's a long one. But I go down. Chris signed in the lobby, and I go down and grab Chris and bring him up to the studio. But he's holding this bottle in his hand. It's got like a skeleton on it with a bandana. It looks like the biker crew that I used to hang out with. And this is a collab with origami.
Yeah. So this is a sake that Origami did specifically for us. They actually did 2 different batches. They did a Nagori and whatever the other one is called. But they did 2 flavors for us when they first opened. And so with alcohol distribution, they weren't in all of our markets.
Right.
So this collab happened, and since we were in Arkansas, we were the only market I was able to get it. So they couldn't ship it to like Alabama yet or anything.
Right.
So they made like 2 runs of this, and we sold it in our stores for a limited time. And then I kept a case for special people like you.
Oh yeah.
So, and then eventually when they get in our markets, they're going to roll back out and we'll do another, but this was like a limited time run here. Super dope. It's got some info on the back, but yeah, it was super cool that they did this, and this was a lot of fun to collab with them on.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So these are limited bottles, buddy. There's not a lot of them floating around anymore.
What is the flavor? Like, what is it?
So this is the Nagori. So this is, you drink sake?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So this is the cloudy
Oh, gotcha.
sake. Okay. I'm not a big drinker. So for me, the bar is where I struggle a little bit in my, I rely on people for that. So, but I do like giving alcohol. So I know you'll enjoy that.
People give me alcohol.
100%. I drink maybe like 5-10 times a year. It's very limited, but
It's smart. It's actually.
well, I've had a lot of years of drinking that. So now it's just not something that's really.
I have recently slowed down myself.
Yeah, dude. It's just as I get older, I don't like waking up with a headache, and I don't know. If I'm with the boys and we're playing some golf, I'll put back a few
course, yeah.
for sure. But it's rare for me to come home and have a drink after work or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather give them away to friends like you, and I hope you drink this in good health and enjoy that. And,
Oh, I certainly will. And I'll share it too. Yeah.
yeah, dude, it's good stuff. They did a great job on this. It's very similar to their 1,000 Cranes and their White Lotus that they have.
Okay.
And they just kind of rebranded it. I think this has a little bit of a higher alcohol content than their commercial White Lotus. But yeah, enjoy that, bud.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, what's all right? So, rock and roll sushi, man. Like, what's on the horizon, dude?
Oh, so what we have going on locally is Jonesboro. We franchised Northeast Arkansas out.
Hell yeah.
So we have a great group there. Actually the same guys that have the crumble cookie here locally and in Jonesboro. They went to ASU and are from Jonesboro. So they're opening this June. So they should have it mid-June. And then we have Hot Springs under construction with a great group down there. They should be opening late summer.
Oh yeah.
And then, we're looking to expand into Cabot and then Fort Smith. So those 2, hopefully by the end of the year, early next year. And then, maintaining what we got going on in Central Arkansas. And, we got some cool LTOs coming out, that corporate's rolling out that, if you pay attention to our corporate, we just got a Rock and Roll Sushi app. So there's an app to download in the iOS and Android store. You can do all your ordering, loyalty points, all that's in there.
That's so cool. I love that.
I know. It's just
funny, dude, because we talked about technology a little bit, dude. Like, I'm terrible, man. Like, I've gotten, don't get me wrong, I've gotten a lot better, but like, I used to get like really pissed off when somebody's like, dude, just download the app. I'm like, dude, say app one more time.
It's a game changer.
It's
a game changer.
And now it's like, yeah, I got this app and it's freaking awesome. And my wife's like, oh yeah, you got an app? I'm like, shut up.
Yeah. It's a game changer. I mean, people want to be able to track their loyalty points. They want that access. I mean, that's what they want. So, part of the franchise again, like we got this app developed for us, and which is cool. They just rolled it out one week. They're like, here's our app, and I'm like, oh, cool. So you get perks, stuff like that they do for you on the back end. Social media posts. So there's just a lot that they actually do on the backside that I don't have to worry about. So, I mean, a lot of cool things with rock and roll. They're expanding out west, going into California, Arizona, Colorado, and then they're also looking in New York. By this time next year, it could be over 100, 120 rock and rolls in the U.S.
That's crazy.
I know it's a wild growth. So it's exciting, and I'm honored and happy to be a part of this concept. And it's been a pleasure to bring this to Central Arkansas.
That's so cool, man. Well, we're happy that you're here.
Thanks,
and man,
buddy. I'm happy you're here.
I can tell you, dude, like, listen, man, I am, my wife will tell you, my cousin will, I have a hard time not working.
Yeah.
Like, I have a tough time not working. I take a few days off. And so last time I was off, I wasn't getting any phone calls. And I was like, something wrong. So I called my sous chef, and I was like, hey, man, is everything okay? And he's like, yeah, Jess said, if we call you, we're in trouble. So we're leaving you alone. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, man, can you at least text me, whatever. My wife's like, hey,
that's a you thing. That's a you thing.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
But I will say on the other side of that is I know I have work to do on that, but I have a lot of respect for somebody that, like, dude, I know what you've done.
Thank you,
in the last 5 years. Like, I know what you've done. And on top of that, you're a family man too. I know that you take care of your family. I'm not saying that there's, listen, I think there's a lot of relatable things there is what I'm saying. And I have a lot of respect for you. I know what you've done in 5 years. You work your tail off. And, I know that you, like me, like you talk about, like, still holding that connection with the kitchen and still spending time with my family and that kind of stuff, man. So I get it. And, man, I appreciate you.
Yeah. What I appreciate about this is like a support group for restaurateurs here. This is awesome, dude. I appreciate you, man. Everything that Brewed Barley means to my family, I mean, it means way more than I can really even express to you, just because of what we happened in that. It's fortuitous that that happened there, and so maybe one day me and you will collab on something. Who knows? Yeah, so
I know you got more ideas.
I got so much money.
I have so many ideas. It's ridiculous,
So many ideas.
And what's really funny? You probably have like 30 of them, and like you being like the franchise guy, I'd be like, no.
Wait, yeah, dude. Listen, it's the triangle of food cost, labor cost. That's just want to make sure you hit it, and then if you can hit those, I mean, you're golden. So. Like you do a lot of stuff from scratch, and you do a lot. For me, I just don't. That's not me. I don't have that in me. You give me a recipe, buddy, I'll knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
But you go tell me to create, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
So it's just different things. So just like I have a ton of respect for what you do. If I could do what you do, I would. But it's a lot easier to do what I do than what you're doing.
Maybe one day we will just get together.
Yeah, dude.
Figure something out.
There's some stuff there for sure.
Including like sitting on a beach somewhere.
That is what needs to happen sooner than later, for sure.
It's a good margarita, a good pina colada.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Then I'll be drinking more than 5 times a year. Yeah, I promise you, 5 times a day at that point.
Yeah, I can have a few drinks.
So
we can be happy.
No doubt.
Man, I really appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely.
Dude.
It was my pleasure.
I say this to everybody, man, and I'd love to have you back in a year or so and see where you're at. I know you got other things that we talked about. You got other things moving. And, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for you, dude.
I'm excited for you, too, man. I look forward to hearing where you're at in a year or two and seeing.
Me, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, you're doing some cool stuff. So, let's circle back up and change more war stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for listening to Heaping Spoonful. I would also like to thank Rusty Mathis. This is the brainchild of Rusty. Rusty is the GM over here, and he gives us so much support. To have this platform is just awesome, and I know everybody appreciates it. Shout out to Rusty. Also, shout out to Rob. Rob Nelson is the head of tech over here at Benny Keith, and Rob is the guy that makes this happen.
These are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Sounds so good to me. Hopefully it sounds good to the public when they hear this, but it sounds great.
The first time I was ever in here as a guest, and I was like, yeah, this is not what I expected. This is badass.
Well, listen, I mean, like I told you, I do local radio once a week, and this is 1,000 times nicer than what I typically hear weekly. So shout out Justin Acree.
Awesome. Well, Rob, we thank you, man. We thank you for everything that you do. Here's till next time. Heaping Spoonful. All right. Let's talk soon.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Heaping Spoonful. On behalf of all of us at Benny Keith Foods, Mid-South Division, please know how much we love connecting you with the legends of the culinary scene and their unique stories. I look forward to the next time we can offer you another Heaping Spoonful.